Hey, this is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. If you've ever wondered, why do I fall in love so easily, then you may have experienced more than your fair share of heartbreak. Love is a magical, mystical force of the universe and probably the most important thing to understand. Sometimes we fall in love with someone a little too fast, and that's what we're talking about today. Why you fall in love so easily and how to stop that. And before we slide on into this wonderful video, make sure you do the big three. Make sure you like and subscribe to the videos. Make sure you turn on your notifications so that when next week's comes out, you'll know what to do, right? You gotta watch it. And number three, make sure you leave me your comments below. Post what you would like me to do the next video on. But you know what? You might not want to stop yourself from falling in love so quickly. Maybe you just want to slow down just a little bit, put the brakes on a little bit. Well, that doesn't mean that you are anybody's soulmate or that this is a magical connection just because it feels like you're falling in love. And sometimes it's just lust, not love. Here's some warning signs that you should look for in the Why Do I Fall in Love So Quickly quiz. So do you occasionally find yourself feeling a deep emotional stirring for someone on the first date? Are you easily charmed by warm people? Do you frequently start thinking of a future with someone you've just met or been on one date with? Do you have one-night stands because you believe there's someone special in there, someone special that you've got that you can have a connection with? Do you really struggle with men who frequently disappear from your life after only one or two dates? Do you really want a relationship and a family? Do you often describe yourself as a hopeless romantic? Are you a love quote addict? Do you read a lot of love poetry? Do you passionately believe in love at first sight? If you notice that you fit one or more of those signs, then this video is definitely for you. What we're going to do is we're going to break down the major reasons and causes of falling in love a little too quickly so that you can basically get your heart steady for the man who is right for you. So let's talk about a few of the reasons why you fall in love so quickly. Number one is your heart is starving for love. When I was dating in my 20s, I had a hungry heart. Yeah, I know you can probably hear Bruce Springsteen right now, which meant I was really aching for a love in a big way. I really wanted a loving relationship. I wanted a girlfriend. I wanted a deep, fulfilling dating relationship with somebody. You might have felt like this at some point, right? And when your heart is this love-starved, you start to make some dating relationships that look promising even when they're not. You really just want to be in a relationship so bad that most guys you date look hopeful, even if they're not. Another part of a starving heart is that you may have also had a slight addiction to the process of falling in love because of all those lust chemicals and brain hormones that get released. I mean, who doesn't love that juicy feeling of falling in love? It's thrilling and euphoric. But those feelings of lust and euphoria are very hard to maintain. They're not meant to be. And if you know your heart is particularly sensitive and looking to be filled, you should try to find a good balance of all areas of your life to help keep you from putting too much focus and attention on your dating. Reason number two is you need balance. Just like when our hearts are hungry, we often look to relationships to fulfill the emptiness inside ourselves. Sometimes this is just to get a sense of calm and peace that we haven't been able to achieve or find in life. If you find yourself frequently trying to soothe your anxiety with relationships, then you may have some things that need to get worked out. Remember when I told you that I was love-starved in my 20s? Well, that was only the half of it. I was seeking a deep romantic relationship with someone as a cure for the damaged parts of me. What I didn't know then was that I would never have a truly fulfilling relationship until I took care of those parts of me that needed repair. And this is true for everybody. I've never seen a dating relationship truly establish a solid foundation of love until both the people in it started to work on their unresolved stuff, their junk, their issues, you know. You got to find that sense of internal balance in yourself to ground yourself, or you're going to keep falling in love too quickly with men, and sometimes with the wrong men. That's the real danger. Reason number three is you've got Disney-phrenia. Look, we all love a good fairy tale, right? They formed some of our most idealistic and hopeful visions of love as a kid, but they also gave us an understanding of the power of healthy love versus lust. And yet these same fairy tales and princess movies also distorted the truth of dating and love, like kind of looking into a warped magic mirror. These fairy tale stories and movies are also very limited when it comes to describing reality. The fact is that there are far more myths about love and relationships than there are truths. The myths are always waiting to mislead us, and they're tempting, I have to admit it. We have to be able to see where our idealistic view of love may lead us astray, in the search for love. So take a good close look at your beliefs about love, lust, dating, and relationships. If you really want to get to the heart of this, sit down with a pen and paper and make a list of all the things you believe about love. Really empty your brain of all the stuff you think are myths and what you think are truths to see if they hold up under the light of scrutiny. Reason number 4 is you've got a blueprint. One of the more counterintuitive reasons you might fall for somebody a little too easily is that you have very high standards for the kind of guy you want in your life. You might think that it's usually the opposite, right? That somebody who falls in love easy must have pretty low standards, but that's not actually always the case. And what I mean is that most people think that love happens because of what's happening on the outside, right? You meet a new guy, that's on the outside, you have fun together, lust hits you, you connect with each other, you fall for him. So all of that outside stuff must have been because you met the right guy, right? But what's really happening is that while you're dating somebody, you're actually checking to see all the signs and signals that say that you're making a good match here, that you're getting your inner blueprint of love matched instead of just your lust. We all developed a specific blueprint of the ideal partner for us. It's kind of a product of our childhood, the movies we watched, our parents, our role models, and a ton of other preferences that we stored away. You have a very clear imprint in your soul for the person you believe is your soulmate. Reason number 5 is it's a strategy. It's actually a strategy to fall in love quickly. You see, while men are often highlighted as being commitment phobes and afraid of intimacy, the truth is that women are just as likely to avoid the true depth in their relationships with men. Before you start writing me a nasty email, hear me out on this one, okay? Women are wide open in the early stages of dating, whereas men are not focused on starting up a relationship until a little later on. That's just a man's natural timeline. It's not dysfunctional or wrong, it's simply the way guys are. But a common pattern is that many women jump headfirst into romance and then inevitably they rush into a breakup. This ends the relationship before she truly had a chance to be vulnerable. So before you label someone as having intimacy issues, take a look at the partners in your relationships and see if there are cycles that you're repeating as well. Reason number 6, you may have an addictive personality. Love, like any other potent and euphoric experience, can be habit forming. Addictive love is an unconscious attempt to satisfy our developmental hunger for security, feelings, power, identity, belonging, and meaning in our lives. Remember that, yes, every emotion you feel may be real. However, not every emotion you experience was caused by something real. You see, our emotions are created by what we're thinking each and every waking moment. You don't have an emotion and then a thought. You usually have a thought and then an emotion. Emotions just don't pop into our head and hearts and hijack us. Well, in very rare neurological disorders that can happen, but keeping our feelings in this kind of perspective allows us to stop before an emotion or desire for an emotion or feeling takes us over and consumes us. That also stops lust from appearing as love. Having emotional perspective is the key to avoiding our most self-destructive relationships. All right, reason number 7, pump the brakes and look around. Sometimes we fall for someone simply because of a lack of options. Loneliness is easier when it's shared, right? I mean, it sounds kind of silly, and yet you still need to be willing to slow things down a little bit. Every so often, put the brakes on with your dating and just take in what's happening in this moment. Spend a weekend alone to see what pulls on you more, his absence or the wash of good feelings that comes from the feeling of being in love. See, you got to shut off your hopes for the future. Take in the view, the guy, your feelings, the whole big picture. Be willing to see the flaws and where you might be ignoring the problems. Ultimately, love is tricky, and who knows what the best speed is for falling in love. Hey, even if you do fall a little faster than most people, or faster than you might like, that doesn't mean that you're not having a great experience too. I'm not here to condemn that. I believe that we're all here to experience the world and the universe in our own unique and fantastic way. And for someone like you, that might mean, well, big tenderness in your heart. If you are someone that does fall in love easily, I'd like to celebrate that. And if you want to discover how to really connect with a guy so that he falls in love just as quickly and easily with you, go check out my special report on this. Just click this little link you see below me here. That's right, datingfire.com/connection. That's datingfire.com/connection. Go read that report and check it out. You'll find out exactly what's stopping him from falling in love with you. And don't forget, before you don't run off to the next video. I know you're eager to catch another glimpse of Carlos in another video. Before you do that, make sure you do the big three. Make sure you like and subscribe to the videos. That way you make sure you get them. Make sure you turn on notifications so you know when the next one comes out. Give you a hint here, it's coming out next week. And number three, make sure you post your questions or comments down below. Especially let me know what you'd like me to do a video on. Hey, this is Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. As always, live and love with passion.